Hello again, everyone, and welcome once more to the ABL here on Star Hub as we bring you a regular season game between the visiting Alab Pilipinas, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, actually, against the Singapore Slingers. Alab visiting with a record of a gaudy record, actually 16-4, going against the third place Singapore Slingers at 13-7. In third place, going against the first place team, a mouth-watering matchup, if there ever was one. We look at the standings of the league thus far as we get down to the business end of the season. San Miguel, as we said, 16-4, followed by Formosa, 14-6. Then come the Slingers at 13-7, Saigon 11-9. Actually, Macau Black Bears, you just barely see them in there before that. The CLS Knights at 11-11. Hong Kong 12-12. Remember last year's runners-up. Mono Vampire 7-14. Westport Malaysian Dragons 6-13. The Wolf Warriors at 2-19. So team number one going against team number three today. Hello, everybody, and so happy you could join us today as we look at Miguel Alab, the coach of the Alab Pilipinas, and he will be doing battle against Coach Nyo and Coach MJ. Michael Johnson of the Singapore Slingers. There they are right now, the Singapore Slingers coaching staff, the brain trust, so to speak. We'll be talking to Coach Nyo in just a little bit. Singapore, they have put on 4 straight wins and 6 out of their last 7, so they are on the ups and peaking just about at the right time. Chuck Schreiner and Scott McKinnon, so happy you could spend part of your Sunday with us here at this OCBC arena. Packed house today, not a ticket in sight. In fact, the tickets were being scalped before the game. I don't know, I've heard as much as $75, $100 per ticket. Who's who, veritable who's who of basketball in attendance today at this OCBC arena. People still filing into the arena. Once again, a look at the Philippine bench. There is Ronaldo blocking, and story with him today, Scotty, is he is about to set a record here in the ABL.
Yeah, and when we're talking about Ronaldo Bachman, what a player, Chuck. 29 points, and he is in the top 10 of all time for ABL scoring in only his second season here. What a talented young man and individual this person is.
As we saw, the referees will be in charge of the game, and now just about ready to introduce the members of both San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the Singapore Slingers. And out on the floor right now are the coaches, and the players will be introduced first from the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Not the starting players, but the role players. Bobby Ray Parks coming out, and or actually that's number 7 there, isn't it? No, that is number 1. That is Bobby Ray Parks. Number 2, Singapore fans will remember him, Josh Erzban Tondo. Toiled here in the year 2017, helped guide the Slingers to the finals that year. There is Dominguez, and Lawrence Dominguez always seems to give the Slingers a heartache when he is here. Number 9, that is Pierce Rivero, 6'4", 225. Number 13, Nico Paulo Havalona, 6 foot, 175-pound guard, averaging 4.8 points a game. There's number 24, Chris Samalatog, 6'2", 170. Samala Nog, actually. And here comes number 27, Thomas Torres, 5'9", 160-pound guard. Number 34, there's Bachman, the guy we were talking about. Straw that stirs the drink here for Alab Pilipinas, averaging 24.9 points a game, 11.8 boards. PJ Ramos, another one of the Puerto Rican players, 18-9 and 13-1. So now we skip over to the Singapore Slingers. They'll get a nice ovation. Boy, great looking crowd today. All the Philippine workers are out in force to support their San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, as we said, in first place here in the ABL so far this year. Number 6, Tang Dae Lu. Some more of the role players for Singapore being announced. Jun Lim, number 1. Larry Liu, number 11, and boy, did he hit some key free throw shots down the stretch the other night on Wednesday against CLS to notch the win for Singapore in very, very trying conditions. Delvin Go, what a story he's been, one of the better local players in the league. Low post for Singapore. Number 32. And there is Raj, the 18-year-old, 6'7", 306 pounds. Russell Lowe, actually number 32, the high-low post player for Singapore. And here come the starting 5 for the Slingers. Desmond O, what a job he has done for the Slingers, both on defense and sometimes on offense. A couple weeks ago, we saw him putting 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. John Fields, he has been having a fabulous season so far in the top 5 in rebounds and points scored, Scotty. There is Jaron Young, averaging 16.8 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists during the season. There he is, Xavier Alexander, crowd favorite, number 15, averaging 23 points a game, almost averaging a triple-double, 8.3 rebounds, 8.1 assists. There is Delvin Go right there, the guy we just talked about, one of the better local players in the league. Has really made himself a force down on the high-low post. Him and John Fields will rotate at the number 4 and number 5. So those are the two teams ready to do battle. They met once before, December 23rd in the Philippines. Alab coming away with that win, 77-71, a 6-point game. It was close throughout. So we'll see if Singapore can get some revenge here at the OCBC Arena. So happy again that you could join us, and we'll be starting in just a few minutes. And I tell you what, Scotty, both these teams are loaded.
Oh, Chuck, you've just said it. Talented offensive teams on both ends. For Alab Pilipinas, their depth is their key, and the ability to share that basketball. They average 92 points a game, but the key for them is sharing that basketball to the tune of 26 assists a game. When everyone is involved and everyone is touching the ball offensively for Alab, they are a really tough team to match up with.
Singapore number 1 in the league in defense, and number 2 in defense is San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Hey, before the game, we talked to some of the coaches and players, and let's see what Coach Neo and company had to say.
Well, I mean, it's basically mentally prepared for our game, every game, and basically they are sort of like, you know, stick to the game plan, and that's what we play together, and by running the floor execution, that basically get us the win.
You know, again, I'm happy that, you know, at this point in the season that we're in first. I think, you know, for the most part this year, we played really good basketball, but, you know, the mission isn't finished. You know, we have a tough stretch here to finish the elimination, so we just want to continue to build and continue to improve as we get ready for the playoffs.
Definitely increases the hunger. You know, all season we wanted to be at the top of the table, and you know, we started off good and then had a little dry spell, and now we're back. I think we've won 6 or 7 or 5 out of our last 6 or 7. So you know, we're playing well, and we're not the same team as we was when we played them the first time. So we'll be looking in to come in and be aggressive, push the pace, and see if we can't get a win today.
Well, welcome back. Some interesting comments by both these teams as we look at the starting 5 for both these teams. We'll start with the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Lawrence Domingo, as we said before, always give Singapore headaches in this building. Bobby Ray Parks with a broken nose and all will get the start. Ethan Albano in the top 5 in assists. Ronaldo Bachman in the top 5 in scoring. Peter John Ramos, both those latter guys from Puerto Rico, and both in the top 5 in rebounding as well. So a power team, Scotty, that can also get it done in the open court. We look at the Slingers, their starting 5. No surprises there. The same 5 they've gone with for most of the season. Jaron Young at the number 3, Desmond O with the number 2, Xavier Alexander, Delvin Go, John Fields, Xavier Alexander handling the ball handling position for the Singapore Slingers. He has been the point guard this year, and sometimes he'll switch off with Jaron Young and Desmond O. Player matchups, well, there's one of them, Mr. Ramos, and he will be going mano-mano against John Fields. Let's look at the game last game against CLS Knights. What John Fields did, 25 points, 18 boards, 2 blocks. In fact, Fields leads the league in average blocks per game with over 2. On the other side of the ball, Ramos, 19, 14, and 3. They will be going at it, so that ought to be an interesting matchup, Scotty.
Yeah, that's a great matchup right there. As far as different styles as well for big men. John Fields likes to rim run. He likes to get up and down the court. He likes to pick and roll and offensive rebound, where PJ Ramos is a big body. He starts inside, but he also likes to step out and shoot that three-pointer every once in a while. It's going to be a really interesting matchup and a key matchup to who's successful in this game. Okay, the fans are ready. The refs are ready. We're ready, and I hope you're ready at home. So let's do it here at the OCBC Arena. Again, the number 1 ranked San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is 16-4, going against the number 3 Singapore Slingers at 13-7. Hope you enjoy the ride with us today. Again, Chuck Schreiner and Scotty McKinnon, so happy that you could join us. Both these teams with 6 games left to go in the season. Ramos, one of the idiosyncrasies with him is look how short, like rugby shorts he wears, but he feels more comfortable that way. And Bachman gets control of the ball. Little step up in the lane is off the mark. Run down by Alexander. He'll get it for the Slingers, and back come Singapore. So Alab getting the tip, but nothing else. Singapore has the ball.
Off to Delvin Go on that right side. Circling around him is Alexander. Now off to Fields. Fields, step-up jumper. The 2 is no good. Ramos hauls down the board. Quickly back down the other way. Comes Alab. Blocked away by Alexander. His first block. So right away, Scotty, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas going straight to the rim.
Yeah, and like they should. That's their size advantage right now with Balkman and PJ Ramos downstairs. And 2 great attacks to the rim for both of them. Just unlucky they didn't finish.
Good ball movement by Singapore. They look for cutters. Fields downstairs. Fronting him is Balkman. Alexander gets some separation. Fires up at 2. That's going to be off the mark. Delvin Go right there to get the rebound. Kick back outside again. Jaron Young off to Alexander. Free throw line. Desmond O will fire up a 3. Off the mark again. Rebound taken. Back the other way comes number 25, Alvano kicks it back outside again. Nice job of protecting the rim by Singapore. Parks yo-yoing down that right-hand side. Jaron Young on him, bumping, grinding. Back outside to Balkman. Balkman around the horn to Domingo. Domingo inside the lane. Sweeping aside Delvin Go, using that shoulder to good effect, Scotty.
Chuck, you called it. Lawrence Domingo gives Singapore problems with his offensive rebounding and just how hard he plays. A great take there, stepping through to his right hand.
Fields now, top of the key. Switch it into Alexander. Alexander looking for cutters. Being fronted. Trying to find some space, can't find any. Followed by Fields, Jaron Young actually finding some space in between the 2 bigs, up and in. Cookie down the court to Balkman. Balkman gets it going, 1.
And that's one thing Singapore has to do is get back in transition. As soon as Alab gets the ball, they are out in transition every single time. Ronaldo Balkman with a great finish there going to the rim.
So 3 straight times, Alab Pilipinas going straight to the rim. That time getting the N1. The foul will go on Alexander. That'll be 1 on him.
Chuck, you talked about Lawrence Domingo in the pregame. He has been fantastic against Singapore. He's such a good defender as well. They're going to put him on Xavier Alexander, and they'll sub in Kalen Chunks on to match up after. Real tough and physical players, both of them.
5-2. We don't have the graphics up yet, so 5-2. San Miguel with the 3-point lead over Singapore. We'll get those graphics up as soon as we can. Delvin Go. The Fields right there. Gives it off to Jaron Young. Young picked up by Domingo around another defender, takes it straight to the rim, and he's fouled hard. He will go the line for 2.
There's Jaron Young back to that right hand again. He's unstoppable once he gets downhill going to that right hand.
Watch it again, getting the step on the defender. Obligatory right hand coming in there by Alvano, and the foul on Lawrence Domingo, so that'll be 1 on him.
Very nice to see Jaron Young aggressive to start the game. We've said his play has been up and down this year, and when he is going, he is going. It's really nice to see him aggressive to start this game.
Yeah, he only had 7 points the other night against CLS. Young hits the first one, so he owns all the scoring for Singapore early on here. All 3 of the points. One of the more athletic players on the floor, so he matches up very well against San Miguel. And again, both these teams very aggressive from the get-go, so 5-4 is your score. Back comes Alvano and company. Trap starting to form. Desmond O on Ramos. Baseball pass downstairs to Balkman. Gets it inside, can't get it to fall. Last touch is going to be a jump ball. Fields can't believe it. Alternating possessions. Let's see which way it will go. It will go the way of Singapore, I believe. Let's see.
Chuck, there's Domingo again. They have to get a body on him on the offensive end. He almost created another possession for the Alab right there with an offensive rebound.
The referees are going to give it to Singapore, so the trail official spying something there. So Fields apparently right in his dissension. So Alexander and Singapore will come back. They trail 5-4, just underway here with 7:30 to go. Again, till we get the graphics up, we'll have to keep you posted. There goes Young around 1 defender. In the air goes Fields. Fields in between 2 defenders, has to put the ball on the floor. That little baby hook of his that is so effective again. So Singapore with a 6-5 lead now. 7:12 to go here in the first quarter. Stolen away by Singapore. Desmond O with the long 3, no good. Reaching on the top is Go, can't pull it down, and back come Alab Pilipinas. So almost a 5-point turnaround there. Inside the lane it goes. Let's see if they count that. No, they wave it off. Bobby Ray Park splitting 2 defenders.
Yeah, and there's Bobby Ray Parks, the National University Bulldog, 2-time UAA MVP, 2-time local MVP here in the ABL. He's just really tough getting that left hand, and Singapore has to keep him from getting back to that left side and going to the rim.
Son of a basketball legend, Bobby Ray Parks Sr. Little show and go for Ramos, who throws it away. Little wide pass. Ethan Alvano not able to corral it, so turnover. That's the first turnover for San Miguel, and Singapore will inbound it. Ball back in the hands of Alexander, running the numbers. Domingo on that right-hand side. Screen being thrown by Fields. He eschews him, gets the ball over to Young. Young, wide open look for Delvin Go, is going to be short with that, stepping in. Oh, almost getting the rebound. Now back to Fields. Fields, yes.
Desmond, oh, what effort there. Taking on big PJ Ramos, knocking it loose, and John Fields with the putback. 4 points for John Fields now.
Heads up move by Fields to pick up the loose ball inside. Ramos a little bit short getting there. 8-5 Singapore.
And here comes Singapore with that 1-2-2, or they're going to get up in man a little bit now in the full court.
You said it, Scotty. Great play by Desmond to knock that ball loose, hitting the lane with both hands. Alvano, in the process, losing Desmond. Little hop step to the basket. That time by Bachman for 2.
You see the pedigree of Bachman there.
8-7 now, Singapore. Delvin Go gives it up to Alexander, looking for cutters. Now off to Young. Young around the screen provided by Go. Inside Fields, off balance shot, way off the mark, but Delvin Go right there to clean it up and in again.
Right now for Singapore, it's offensive rebounds and those second chance points, all on effort. No box outs from Alab.
And there is a offensive foul by Bachman. That will be his first, running straight into Delvin Go. Let's watch it again. Here they are on the move. Bachman, it is Young. Great positioning by him, knocking him silly in the process. Bachman can't believe it.
And you said it, Chuck. He took it right in the chest there. Great footwork by Young to get in the way of Bachman.
So second team foul for Alab Pilipinas. Both teams with 2. So 10-7 for Singapore. And we've got the graphics back up. Good job, fellas. 5:49 to go here in the first quarters. We look Coach Alapog. What a nice guy, personal friend of my compadre Scotty McKinnon. You won't meet a nicer guy in these parts.
Oh, and competitor, basketball player and coach. The list goes on for his resume.
Young again. He's been the go-to guy here in the first quarter. Him in Fields. Ball pawed away by number 34, Bachman. They have switched off. Initially, they had Ramos on Fields, and right now that switch goes over to Bachman. So 6'8" going against 6'9". Delvin Go will draw the big man, 7'3" PJ Ramos. Go staying outside to keep Ramos away from the basket. Over to Fields now. Delvin Go, left foot, beats Ramos to the spot, Scotty, and that is one thing he's got going for him. He has much quicker footwork than Ramos. Ramos back there on his heels.
And what a finish by Delvin Go there. Up fake going back across the rim, and he has to be aggressive because they're sitting PJ Ramos on the rim. They don't want to step him out of the way, like you said. And when Delvin goes aggressive, they have a great opportunity to score.
Oh, right downstairs to Ramos, who put the ball on the floor. Unfortunately, stepping in to knock it away is Larry Liu, who just checked in. He touched it last, so it'll be San Miguel ball. And I don't understand why Ramos didn't just take it straight to the rack.
Yeah, and you got to be happy with the Slingers' effort and intensity right now. They are winning every single 50-50 ball in this game.
Alvano to inbound it. Ramos again. Nothing funny that time, going straight at John Fields, knocking him backwards, and left hand off the glass, up and in.
And you said it, Chuck. That's what you should have done the first time. Physically imposing his strength.
Catch and shoot from the left-hand corner. No good. Ramos with another board. Baseball pass on the outlet to Bachman. Bachman right hand. Slices it over to the right side. Quick pass. Bachman again. And gets it to fall over the outstretched arms of Fields. Fields did not want to be too aggressive to pick up the foul. So right now, Bachman having his way inside at least. 12-11, Slingers lead trimmed to 1. Inside the lane goes Young, high off the glass, and lead pass to Bachman, who's downstairs for the easy flush.
And PJ Ramos' ability to throw that long outlet baseball pass is world class, and generally Ronaldo Bachman's on the end of it for a dunk like that.
Like a quarterback hitting a wide receiver in the open field. Alexander was yet to get off yet. Over to Fields again. Fields working against Bachman, finds some space inside, and he is fouled, and that'll send him to the line for a pair.
And that's the second foul on Ronaldo Bachman. 9 points and 2 fouls. That's dangerous for Alab Pilipinas.
Check this out again. High off the glass. Is always going to be a little bit far, and there's that outlet pass you were talking about, Scotty, right over the shoulder. Perfect timing. to Bachman, who finishes it off. Timeout going to be called by Singapore as they're trying to deal with this very aggressive posture of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, hitting the open court early and often getting to the rim, beating Singapore to the rim almost every time, Scotty.
Yeah, and you said it, Chuck, the ability to stop them in transition. Alab's at their best when they get out and they run. And if you can get them in the half court, they start to struggle a little bit offensively, especially when they play on the road, where they're 5-4 this year. Undefeated at home, 5-4 on the road. We have to keep them in the half court as much as possible.
If you look at the stats for the team, as we said, San Miguel averaging 92.7 points a game. That's good enough for second in the league. Singapore 85.5, eighth. Rebounds, these two teams are 1 and 2. San Miguel 47.6 per game. Singapore 43.2. San Miguel also leads the league in assists, 26.8. Points allowed, Singapore and San Miguel 1-2 in the league. Singapore number 1, averaging or giving up only 77.7. San Miguel surrendering only 80. Very impressed with San Miguel, and you can see why their field goal percentage is so high, because they get such high percentage shots, Scotty, shooting 56% from the floor.
Yeah, and anytime they get a defensive rebound, especially if it's PJ Ramos, every single Alab Filipinos player is running down the court. They're spreading it out wide along the wings. They're big rim runs, and Ramos looks to fire that baseball pass, and you will see that multiple times this game. If the point guard doesn't get the ball, Ramos is going to launch it and let it fly.
Singapore leading the league in both steals and blocks, 8.3 steals per game and 4.4 blocks at the line. Singapore shooting 68.5, good enough for 9th in the league, and San Miguel 2nd in the league at 74.8. Chance for Singapore, however, to tie things up or possibly go ahead. John Fields at the line, where he has been pretty good this year, 75%. Nothing but net for the first. Singapore has knotted it up at 13 here at a packed house at the OCBC Arena. 2 of 2, so that sliver of a lead.
Nice start for John Fields, 6 points and 3 rebounds to start the game.
Josh Tondo checking in the game. He'll be familiar with the Singapore fans, as he was a mainstay when that year 2017 where the Slingers made the finals, dumping the ball inside to Bachman. Other side, Dominguez back outside. Ramos will fire away a 3.
And there's Ramos's range. You're surprised that a 7'3", almost 300-pound man shoots threes like that, but he really likes to step behind that three-point line and extend the opposite team's big.
Didn't have to leave his feet. Singapore will give him that shot. Rises and firing, and Young and 1.
Love the aggressiveness from Jaron Young. He is so important to their team. Now he starts off the game with 6 points already. Another and 1 pull-up jump shot.
Well, it's just a matter if you don't know what Jaron Young you're going to get from game to game. We saw that game last week on Wednesday against the CLS Knights, where he was held to 7 points, but we have seen him get off big time, and he's on the road. Look at the screen, accepting that, getting around Fields, finding that open lane. Offensive rebound for Singapore. Larry Liu on that right-hand corner. He'll shimmy across the baseline. Fields, backup jumper for 2, off the mark, rising, getting the rebound. Another rebound is Bachman again. Quickly attacking the rim. Other side is Tondo, his first shot of the game, knocked away. Ramos all alone again, gets blocked from behind by John Fields.
John Fields chased down from behind. What a block.
Backup jumper by Young. Offensive board again by Fields. Fields trying to work on Bachman, fronts him. On the floor, picked up by Young again. Young's got Alexander to his left, gonna fire a long three.
Jaron Young starting off the game, 9 points. Another great attack off the ball screen, shoots the 3. 9 points to start the game for Jaron Young.
So 3-point lead by Singapore, doing it the hard way. Jaron Young is unconscious. Little bump and grind action that time. Long 2 is off the mark, stepping in to pick it up as Bachman knocked away by Delvin Go. And no, they're going to say Ramos touched it last. It'll be Singapore ball. Nice heads-up play by Delvin Go to slip in the lane and get a paw to it, and it deflected it just enough where Ramos couldn't get a beat on it and swatted it away with his index finger. So a timeout going to be called by Alab Pilipinas, just as we thought, Scotty. A very, very close game. Both these teams playing tough defense, especially in the interior. San Miguel probably doing a better job of getting to the rim, but Singapore starting to find the range from the perimeter.
Yeah, and Singapore's second efforts again, attacking the rim, and you see Jaron Young here, off the ball screen, pulls up from three. Everything in his mind today has been attack mode, and that's the Jaron Young that the Slingers love to see.
Here comes that screen by Delvin Go, and Ursman Tondo taking his eye off of the play momentarily, and that's the only space that Jaron Young needed. So we look at the scoring early on here. Jaron Young with 9 points, and Alexander yet to score as of yet. Fields with 6 on the other side of the ball. Bachman, no surprise there, with 9. Ramos with 5. Domingo with 2, and that's been pretty much it. So not a lot of scoring as you would expect, having both these teams coming against each other. Number 1 and 2 in the league in defense, Scotty.
Yeah, and the locals for Alab have not been very productive so far this game. Bobby Ray Parks, the local MVP, 2018 Finals ABL MVP, has yet to score yet, and he's averages 15 points a game, including shooting 40% from 3. Haven't heard a lot from Ethan Alvano, who is in the top 5 in assists, like you said. It's generally just been the imports for Alab, and that's not a good thing because their depth and their strength is based upon all of those locals that they have.
Absolutely, and there's one of the hardest working guys in the league, John Fields. He really gets up for games like this. He takes it personal when he's marking the guy. We've seen him get very emotional at times, sometimes to his detriment, most of the time not. And there is Alexander right there, who is yet to score, and specter of J.P. Ramos from Puerto Rico. He's a member of the Puerto Rican team that famously defeated the United States in 2004. Skip pass inside to Fields, back outside. Delvin Go thought about it, trying to keep Ramos away from the basket. Alexander squirming, getting the rebound inside as Fields loses it on the floor, picked up, and 24-second violation, could not find the thread. Bobby Ray Parks coming in to squirt it away, so it'll be San Miguel ball.
And really good defense there by Brandon Rosser, the 6'7" length there, keeping Xavier Alexander out of the key.
What a story, Rosser. And there's the play there, Alapog. Rosser, a Phil-Am, Division I player, University of California, Riverside. Looking inside is Ramos. Now they swing over to Bachman, who is comfortable playing just about any position. Now they surround him back outside. Ursman Parks from Threesville fires up, no good. Rebound taken by Rosser. Stolen away by Young. Outlet pass to Alexander. One man to beat. Alexander takes it home. Can't flush it down. Back the other way comes San Miguel. Ursman catch and shoot from 3, no good. Rebound Bobby Ray Parks on the floor. Picking it up is Young. Outlet pass all the way down the court to Alexander. Finesse move with his feet, getting position up and in. Singapore with a 5-point lead, matching their biggest lead of the game, 21-16.
Nice to see Xavier Alexander get on the board there with a nice little look away and finish at the rim in the transition.
Rosser dumps it inside to Ramos, who's double teamed, and nice little drop step on the baseline. Scotty getting right around Fields.
Well, you said it, Chuck, inside outside. He has the ability to shoot the 3 as well as tack in. Nice little drop step and finish with the right hand hammer.
Fields, still Fields, turns on the spin, knocked away by Ramos. Back comes San Miguel, ball on the floor, and out of bounds it goes. A turnover. Singapore will take over possession.
A little bit sloppy from Alab to start here. They're usually quite a disciplined basketball team, and they usually make really good decisions in transition. They haven't done that so far today, which is a little bit unnerving for them in this kind of atmosphere in Singapore.
They've averaged 14.7 turnovers a game. Singapore 13.8. 24-7 to go. Singapore will try and get it down to the last 2 or 3 seconds before they take a shot and deny San Miguel a quality possession. So here we go. Back outside is Young. Young being tied up by Gavilano, who's come into the game. Shots off the mark. Out of bounds it goes, and that will do it. So the end of the first quarter, wild and woolly action here at the OCBC Arena. Singapore doing enough to edge out in front, 21-18. That will do it. 1 quarter in the books. We'll be right back to the OCBC Arena after this.
challenge with Ulrich over here. We have Rocky over there. We have Ulrich and Rocky on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go!
Yeah, they're all right.
So that's Ulrich. Rocky here, change up. Make your second basket. Rocky has a slight advantage. Come on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 21-18 is your score. A back and forth bruising affair so far. Both teams attacking the basket. Singapore doing a little bit better job outside as we look at Dominguez right there, and his only bucket of the game. Here's Alexander. He had a hard time getting off. Good defense there by Dominguez to deny him, but finally finishing it off. Back the other way. Ball last touch. They're up and in by John Fields. Rolling, he's got 9 first quarter points. Look at Delvin go there, turning nothing into something. Packed house here at the OCBC Arena, ladies and gentlemen. So happy you could join us. Get ready for second quarter action here. Number 1 team going against the number 3 team, the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, leading the league at 16-4 record. Singapore checking in with that 13-7, good enough for 3rd place, right behind the Formosa Dreamers. Chuck Schreiner and Scott McKinnon. As we look at the brain trust for Singapore, Coach MJ, Michael Johnson, and Coach Neo, who has been with Singapore since its inception. Singapore in the white right there, going against San Miguel in the red. And Scotty, any thoughts as you look at the stats here after the first quarter?
Well, for Singapore, they already have 8 offensive rebounds, which has led to 8 more shots for them. Alab has refused to box out so far, and that's led to a ton of extra possessions for Singapore. From the Alab perspective, I'm surprised. Bobby Ray Parks only 1 shot attempt right now. Ethan Alvano hasn't taken one. So that strength of that depth of the locals hasn't been apparent so far in this first quarter.
Where's Bobby Ray Parks playing with that nose? Couldn't figure out if it was a broken nose or it was fractured or what it was, but he's having to deal with that mask on his face. Russell Lowe in the game now for Singapore, number 32. Alexander getting the ball. Little turn, spin move, and thwarted, knocked away. Nice job by Bobby Ray Parks on the defensive end, just sticking his hand in there. And Alexander unable to retrieve it, so turnover right away for Singapore. And back comes Bobby Ray Parks. There he is with that mask on his face, accepting the screen. Going over to the left side. Back to Josh Urzbentano. Urzbentano around one screen. He's taking 2 shots without success. Inside it goes. Boy, firing it off of the glass. Russell Lowe inside. Kick back outside. Alexander. Parks working on him. Around the corner it goes to Young. Up pops number 22. Long 3 is off the mark. So nice job by Rosser on the switch. Out of bounds it goes, and there was a foul there, and that'll go on Young. I believe that will be his first foul.
And one note on Alab, Kalen Chongson, the Chongson Fu All-Star from last year. The Biola product is not on the bench today or not on the roster for Alab. He is a tremendous athlete. 6'5", can jump out of the gym, can defend anyone, including imports. That's going to be a big loss for them, having him not compete today.
Ramos again, Fields working on him, asking for help on the weak side, can't get it. The tip back is no good. That was number 22, Rosser, couldn't get it. 5 on 4 now for Singapore. Back outside, Alexander, hesitation move inside, turning, finding the little space there, and he is fouled.
Very nice up and under move there from Xavier Alexander, noticing that Brandon Rosser was hurt at the other end of the court. Nice little shot fake, steps through and finishes with getting the contact.
Boy, Rosser is limping badly. They're going to have to get him out of the game for the time being, I think. Foul down at the other end was on Bobby Ray Parks. That will be his 2nd foul. Parks goes to the bench. You said, Scotty, a little bit earlier that the very deep bench, not weak bench, but deep bench that San Miguel has. There it is. They're falling hard on that knee. You can see, wow, writhing in pain on the bench, and he is going to have to be helped. So that is a big hit for San Miguel. Rosser, as you said, Scotty, giving them some length, So 6-7, they're going to miss his presence in there. Let's hope he can get back into the game and it's nothing serious.
Yeah, and it looked like he did his ankle or his knee pretty bad there. Up around the rim trying to get the tip and comes down on someone else's foot. That's too bad for Brandon Rosser. He is a very valuable member of this team.
So 22-18, Singapore with a 4-point spread. This is a guy whose free throw shooting was suspect at first, but has improved greatly in the last few games. We have seen Singapore, in fact, go from a 63.5% free throw shooting team to 69%. Bachmann around the horn it goes to number 13, that's Gavalona. Inside, the shot is off the mark. Last touch by Hu, and they're going to say Bachmann touched it last.
Coach Neal and Coach Johnson mixing it up a little bit, falling into a 1-3-1 zone there. It's always nice to see the different defensive adjustments they make to keep opposing teams in the ABL tier on their toes.
There's your time, 8:25 to go. Up pops Delvin Go. After that is Ung Han Bin, who's in the game now, beside Desmano. Posting up his man. Trying to turn the corner, throws the ball away. Bachmann, great hands to turn it around. Back going downhill, taking the ball to the basket. Number 3, that is Lawrence Domingo to finish it off. So costly turnover for Singapore right there, and now 23-20.
What a finish by Lawrence Domingo, challenging Xavier Alexander at the rim there.
Back over to Fields. Fields looking for Alexander. There's the screen on that right-hand side. Alexander goes around that. To Fields again, wide open look from the elbow is going to be short. Tipped away. Back comes Alab. Joshua Bentondo downstairs. Domingo quickly getting the corner and a foul. That would have, had that gone, it would have counted. Let's see, is that an offensive foul? Watch it again. Let's see. There's the give to Dominguez. And they're going to say offensive foul.
And that's a tough call.
That is a tough call. Wow.
Desmano steps in with his shoulder. Domingo has the direct line to the rim.
Another look at it.
Call right
and
there,
99
Domingo.
times out of 100, but that is called on the defender. So tough break for San Miguel there. Comes at the 7:30 mark. So Singapore catching one that time. 7:30 to go here in the second quarter. Alexander. Up pops Russell Lowe. Running the baseline is Larry Liu. Desmond to the left. Fields. Young not in the game at the moment. Alexander trying to accelerate, can't. Good pursuit there by Alab Pilipinas, trying to do it all on his own, getting the ball off to Desmond. Blocked from behind.
And Singapore's continuing to put PJ Ramos into a ball screen, and the bigs, John Fields and Russell Lowe, Ramos is refusing to step out and contest the shot. They're going to have to hit that 15-footer. If they do, it's going to change the complex and dynamic of the game.
Again, Singapore trying to attack the basket. So back comes number 25, Ethan Alvano, rotating over to Havalona. Alvano again, working against Desmond. Domingo. Bachmann almost walked with it. And one, count it. Great quick step, first step by Bachmann. So drawing the foul, watch it again. There he is, and stepping in is Fields. So Fields picks up the foul. That would be number 1 on him.
And Bachmann now 5 of 9 from the field for 11 points. The University of South Carolina product, 20th pick in the NBA draft. This guy can get to the rim when he wants to. Another attack, dynamic attack to that right hand.
Absolutely, and played in the NBA, as you said, the 20th pick of the New York Knicks. A lot of people couldn't understand why the Knicks picked him up so early, is because of his work ethic, they said. He's missing the free throw. So Singapore will maintain that 1-point edge. Back comes Alexander. 6:37 to go here in the second quarter. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are. Russell Lowe over to Larry Liu. Young still not in the game. Fields, still Fields, spin move. Oh, great recovery there by Bachmann to cut him off. Right into the hands of Desmond, and he had no time on the clock. Shot was blocked right in the hands of Russell Lowe. It didn't matter. So second 24-second violation for Singapore, Scotty.
And interestingly enough, Chuck, you always talk about the face mask and the difference it is playing with. If you look right now, Bobby Parks has ditched the face mask with 0 points here and 6:13 left in the second quarter. It's obviously affecting his play so far today.
That moisture getting caught in between there. Alvano goes to the left-hand spin move inside. Great job. Losing his defender in the process. So now Alab taking the lead 24-23. And Singapore quickly with the timeout. I wonder if there's an issue with Jared Young. We have not seen him here in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe they're just trying to give him a blow. But anyway, watch this again. Avelino, wow, great little spin move, losing Larry Liu in the process. Weak side help in the form of Russell Lowe coming over, not nearly in time. There it is again with the right hand, finishing.
And Ethan Alvano's had a tremendous year so far for Alab Pilipinas. He's a CCAA Conference Player of the Year. What a neat experience for him to be mentored under probably the best point guard in Philippine history, Jimmy Alapag, the captain, the Mighty Mouse. What a great opportunity experience for him to learn all of the tricks of the trade from such a veteran like Jimmy.
So scoring summary so far, Bachman leading all scorers with 11, and on that same side of the ball, Ramos with 7, Domingo with 4. On the other side of the ball, well, Young with 9. We haven't seen him lately. Fields with 6. Alexander with 4. Go with 4.
And interesting enough, Young hasn't been in it. It must be because he has those 2 fouls. I guess they must be saving him for the tail end of the second quarter as well as the second half.
Yeah, Young does have a propensity to draw fouls, and you have to be careful because he tends to get them in a flurry. So they definitely will need him in the second half. So try and survive, hold on any way they can here in the first half. 6:03 to go. Scott McKinnon and Chuck Schreiner, so happy you could join us for this matchup between 2 heavyweights here in the ABL. The first place, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, and the Singapore Slingers in 3rd place with that 13-7 record.
And it was a really good timeout by Coach Neo. Alab's gone on a little mini 6-0 run here. Let's see how the Slingers respond.
Full court pressure. Alexander working on Domingo. There's a trap. Nice job. Somebody's got to be open. It's Larry Liu. Rotates the ball over to Delvin Go, excuse me. Young back into the game, Scotty. Now downstairs, they dump it to Fields. Fields drawing the double team, and he is fouled immediately. Let's see who the foul will go on. I believe it will be on number 6. Alabanza, who's just checked into the game.
The Alab bench was very animated. They're calling for a travel, but John Fields doing a really good job pivoting back to that left foot and creating contact.
3rd time Fields has been to the free throw line. He's just so strong. You can see that wide upper body just bulls his way, and it almost takes 2 players to get him back rims that one. 5th in the league in scoring, 23.9 points a game. Also averaging nearly 12 rebounds a game as well. 1 of 2, so tied up again at 24. Whip pass over to Parks. Now back outside again. Singapore in that 1-2-2 you were talking about. Now it closes. Ball up in the air, knocked away by Young. Singapore off to the races. Young, same with the right hand. Euro step through the basket, gets it to fall.
There's Jared Young in transition with that right hand. Once he gets downhill going to that right hand, no one can get between him and the rim.
So 5th turnover of the game for San Miguel. Bobby Ray Parks stumbling as he gets the ball over to the left-hand side, and the shot is off the mark. Getting the ball is Alexander, tiptoeing his way away from the baseline. Now back comes Singapore, downstairs the field. Baseline, reverse, no good. Nice job by Delvin Go!
Second chance points again there in the offensive rebound. Their 10th offensive rebound of the game today. Delvin Go with the fantastic putback.
Delvin Go with 6. Singapore with a 4-point lead. Back outside Bachman. Bachman slams it home. Once he gets a step on you, it is good night.
And there's the Puerto Rican national right there.
And again on the steal. So that will tie it up at 28 apiece. Singapore copying the ball up in the open court.
And this is what Alab wants. They're a momentum team. You can see the bench is up now. Everyone's excited. A couple quick baskets in a row. Slingers really have to settle down here.
There it is on the first one. Finding the space in between Alexander. Fields a little bit too late getting to the spot. Shot is off the mark, so the N1 doesn't finish. So 28 apiece now. Singapore thought they had a little bit of breathing room. Not so. They didn't take care of the ball, and Alab made them pay for it. Young around the screen of Delvin Go. Young around the screen of Fields, and what is this? See who this is going to be on. It might be a moving screen against Delvin Go.
I think they're going to call it double foul there. Bobby Ray Parks and Delvin Go are both kind of mixed up in that ball screen action there. They got a little physical with each other, and looks like they're going to call a double foul on both of them.
So for Bobby Ray, that'll be 2 on him. For Delvin Go, that'll be 1. Coach Alpago is going to quickly go to the bench and get Bobby Ray out of there. In fact, that is 3 on Parks. So checking into the game will be number 24, Chris Sumalanog, guy we were talking about, 6'2", 190 pounds. He's 28 years of age. Doesn't score a lot, but it's very solid defensively. Alexander accelerating. And 24-second violation. Did he get it off before? He did not.
There's Domingo again. Just fantastic one-on-one defense, contesting, making Alexander take the second extra dribble to step away, and all of a sudden 24-second shot clock violation.
So a lob with the pressure defense. Remember, these two teams 1 and 2 in the league in defense. Singapore surrendering 77.7 points a game. San Miguel not far behind at 80. Off the dribble, firing up a 3 off the back rim. Rebound by Delvin Go. That's number 4 for him. Alexander weaving his way through players. Has to kick it back outside to Larry Liu. Downstairs it goes again. Backup jumper by Fields is off the mark. Trying to step in and get the rebound is Liu. No dice. Outlet pass by Balkman inside Domingo. Over the top. First 2.
Domingo and Balkman have come to play today to the tune of 20 points and 8 rebounds. Those guys are all over the court so far.
With Domingo continuing to give headaches to Singapore. By the way, Young out of the game. Downstairs it goes to Fields. Fields with the finish over the top. Catching Balkman ball watching that time, so that will tie it up at 30 apiece. Young, remember, with 3 fouls now. He is out of the game. Parks with 3 fouls. Ramos for 3, no good. Offensive board by Domingo. Head fake, no good. Rebound, Delvin Go.
Last possession, they put PJ Ramos in a ball screen again. He's not coming out and he's not contesting, so I'd love to see another action with Ramos in that ball screen.
Fields back outside to Alexander, applying the screen, accelerating inside the lane. Is Alexander knocked away by who else? Bachman. Check that. That was number 24, Chris Sumalanog. Long 3 if it goes off the mark. Rebound right there is Ung, who was just checked into the game. A one-step pass over and a foul. Nice job by Alexander to find the freed up Fields downstairs, but he wasn't free for long. He'll have to earn it from the line. Let's see who the foul is on. Be on number 25, Alvano. That would be 2 on him.
John Fields with 9 points right now. Did another great job of rim running there. He beat Ramos down the court, and all of a sudden he has an uncontested layup where Alab has to foul him.
So 2:30 to go here in the wild second quarter. Singapore back and forth like 2 heavyweight boxers, these teams, Scotty. Ominous signs for both these teams in the sense that Bobby Ray Parks, as you said, 2-time local MVP with 3 fouls on the other side of the ball. And perhaps more importantly, if you look at the totality of the players who you can bring off the bench for a replacement, Jaron Young with 3 fouls. So not good news for either of these teams, but slight advantage if you're going to have a foul trouble. I'd rather it be if Singapore is going to have 3 on Young as opposed to 3 on Bobby Parks. I'd still say slight advantage to Alab Pilipinas.
Yeah, Coach Alapag's already gone 9 guys deep tonight. They have such an immense advantage because of that depth that they can play consistently on a day-to-day basis. And that really helps in those 3rd and 4th quarters. We're tied 30-all right now with 2:30 left, and we'll see because of those substitutions at the end of the game if the locals and the imports are fresh for Alab compared to Singapore Slingers, who will be playing the majority of the minutes through their imports as well as their 2 starters, O and Delvin Go.
So good timeout call by both these teams just to get their heads straight. It's been a little bit sloppy at times, as you've noticed, but San Miguel Alab Pilipinas coming as advertised, Scotty, and you know, we look at their shooting percentage, 56% as well. It's no wonder it is. They are relentless in their attack on the rim, and Singapore back on their heels from time to time, but Singapore giving as much as it takes, getting a couple steals and getting in the open court themselves. That man right there, Xavier Alexander, has yet to get off. You know he will. He's averaging over 22 points a game. He's stuck on 4 right now. And Young leading the way for Singapore with 11 in limited minutes because of those fouls. John Fields with 9. So 2:30 to go here in the second quarter. And by the way, these teams both met in the Philippines on December 23rd. Alab coming away with a 77-71 win as Fields misses the first of two. Next week, Singapore will be right back here against the CLS Knights. March 10th. 1 of 2. So Singapore with that sliver of a lead. It's been back and forth like this the entire first half. Singapore did lead by as many as 5. Alab is led by as many as 4. Daring him to shoot. Domingos downstairs it goes. Bachman again. That time in a late whistle. Let's see who the foul is on. I think that will be on Xavier Alexander. If it is, that will be 2 on him. Watch it again. Downstairs isolated against Fields. Oh wow, there's a push there by Alexander. So good call by the referee.
Yeah, that was a good call. You're right. The secondary motion with Alexander to knock Balkman out of the way, so he couldn't get the offensive rebound. It was a personal foul right there, number 15, Xavier Alexander.
So that will be 1 on Alexander, actually, not 2. So he had the foul to give. Jimmy wanting to know what the status is.
Well, actually, it looks like they called something different because Alexander's down at the line at the other end.
So we'll have to get back to you on that. Maybe a push by Balkman before that, but it was an obvious push by Alexander. We saw that. Now that is the, in fact, Singapore has 14 fouls. That is a 16 foul on San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. So there must have been some pushing around the basket that we didn't pick up.
Yeah, just looking at the referee communicating to the bench. He was on PJ Ramos on that early action. He set a cross screen on Xavier Alexander, and that's why they put it on number 36, PJ Ramos.
So a break for Singapore as they lead by a pair, 32-30.
You talked again about Xavier Alexander's improved free-throw shooting. He has really put a lot of work into this, and you've seen the results of it so far in the second half of this season.
Well, also his perimeter shooting in general, Scotty. We've even seen him knock down threes and stuff, and these are things he wouldn't even bother to take these sort of shots before, but much different player than he was 3 years ago. Havano has to get rid of it. Ramos dumps it downstairs, ball knocked away. Balkman right there, the right spot, right time, kicks it back out to Ramos. Show and go move inside, ball knocked away. Delvago coming away, but Bachman again with the steal. Out of bounds it goes. It'll be Singapore ball, but Bachman stopping the fast break in its tracks.
Yeah, and it's the one thing PJ Ramos, he falls in love with the three-point line a little bit too much, where he plays out on the perimeter. For someone his size, a couple more touches in the post, he's not only going to get Big John Fields in foul trouble, but he's going to get foul shots as well as that physicality finishes that he's so good at around the rim.
Alexander using the screen by Fields, trying to lean up against the piece of granite that is Ramos. Long three is going to be off the mark. Ramos cleans it up. Outlet pass all the way down the court. Not this time. Alexander smelling it out. So 4 on 5 right here. Skipping over. Delvin Go will fire a 2. No good. And pushing, I think that will be against who? Alexander. Or will it be against Domingos? No, it'll be Alexander.
There's Singapore on the offensive boards again. Their 11th offensive board of the game today, and that will send.
Watch it again. Around the horn it goes. Back downstairs to Delvin Go. Wide open. You've got to take that shot. And I couldn't really see the foul. I guess Alexander pushing Domingo from behind will be the call. So 1:22 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. They called that on Xavier Alexander. I think that was the right call. He had a little bit of contact there on the offensive rebound, and Domingo had a really good box.
Well, we were sort of blocked out from the action, but you could sort of see lunging forward was Domingo. So that is a 5th team foul for Singapore. So at the other end, Domingo will go to the line.
Now you have Young with 3 and Xavier Alexander with 2. He cannot pick up another foul in this 1:22 heading into the second half.
Might be a wise move to get Xavier out of there for that last minute or so. We'll see how it transpires, but he's still in there. Domingo misses both. Attacking. Ong Van Han has the ball blocked. Alexander picks it up. Ramos, no foul. Back comes Alab Pilipinas. Domingos on the break. Can't get it. Follow up. Knock the ball in the air. Singapore coming away with it. Ball in the hands. Yes, double dribble there. I was going to say Desmond O losing the thread there. So a double dribble. You can see Desmond quite clearly having problems with control of the ball. The referee says that is a turnover. You can see him looking up, trying to ascertain who was free down the court to get it to him. But in the meantime, he lost the thread. So Brisbane Tondo back outside and into the lane. Wow. Ramos throwing the ball away again. And Alexander, finger roll to the basket. He's fouled. He'll have to earn it from the line. I think the foul will go on Domingo. If it is, it'll be 2 on him.
Well, it's very unlike Ramos. He's generally a really good facilitator from the low post and high post. A fantastic passer for a man his size. And just to see him continuously kind of turn the ball over there, his 3rd turnover of the game, it's very unlike him.
We saw him thread a couple of beautiful passes down the court after a rebound, hitting Bachmann several times over the shoulder, as we said, just like a quarterback hitting a wide receiver. Easy buckets that way, but not lately. So Alexander missing the first of 2. 48 points, 6 to go here in the first half. Singapore missing them both, so both these teams hiccuping at the foul line. Bachmann barking signals, getting the ball over the jaws of Brisbane Tondo. Desmond working on him. Up pops Domingo to throw the screen. Brisbane Tondo getting free, attacking the basket. Wide open look, catch and shoot for 3 is good. Swirling it in. That is number 24, Chris Sumalanog. His first bucket of the game.
Very, very good shooter, Chuck. That guy can fill it from the outside. Great job spacing the floor on the kick out from Brisbane Tondo.
So Singapore with the 2 seconds in between shot clock and game clock will try and wind it down and get a quality shot and deny San Miguel a quality possession. Alexander all the way to the basket using his shoulder. That's the Xavier Alexander we're used to seeing. So Singapore retaining the lead 35-33, and that will do it.
That's that ball screen again with PJ Ramos. Every single time they're putting PJ Ramos on a ball screen, he's not stepping up to defend.
So exciting first half stuff. Singapore on the strength of that last shot by Alexander take the sliver of a lead, 35-33, as we go into the dressing room. And we'll be back for halftime show here at the OCBC Arena in a minute. 35-33, Singapore lead it at the half. I don't know. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 35-33 in favor of the Slingers over the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas here at the OCBC Arena. The #1 team going against the #3 team. Alab getting it done on the glass today. Scotty, a real interesting stat that we threw up there, or we noticed from the halftime stats on the hard copy, is Singapore with 7 steals and 1 block. Just the opposite for the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. They have only 1 steal but 7 blocks.
Yeah, and San Miguel, they've been protecting them really well, the rim really well. They just haven't taken care of the ball so far with 12 turnovers, and that's very uncharacteristic of them. With guards like Alvano and Bobby Ray Parks, they're a talented individual group, and generally they take care of the ball better than that.
Singapore shooting only 30.8% from the floor as we look at Ramos, and another reason why Alab Pilipinas has such a high shooting percentage from the floor. Look at a lot of their shots from point-blank range. They go downhill straight at the teeth of the Singapore defense to good effect. There's that outlet pass we were talking about by Ramos, usually very good, right over the shoulder. Can't ask for anything better than that. Young weaved and bobbed his way to 11 first-half points, although he's got 3 fouls. So Singapore is going to have to get him back in the game because he really matches up well, Scotty, against this defense of San Miguel.
Yeah, and San Miguel, it's amazing. We talked about their depth multiple times, but with Brandon Rosser hurt now, Kalen Shungson not with the team, Bobby Ray Parks with 3 fouls, they've kind of lost that depth and the strength that they have, and it's evident in only 8 assists in the first half. They're averaging 26 a game, and to only have 8 assists in that first half is something to be worrisome for Coach Alapag and crew. They
have leaned on Bachmann throughout this whole game. Whenever they've needed a bucket, he's either come through down low or put his hand in the lane or gotten a key rebound, and here he is again, slicing through 2 defenders. Quick first step for the ex-New York Knick. There he is downstairs eye-popping pass to Domingo for the finish. They're down low. Is Fields getting underneath Bachman as we look at some of the stats right there. You look at the scoring leaders for Singapore. Young with 11 on the other side of the ball. Bachman with 13 leading all scorers. Alexander, a little bit of a spurt towards the end. He's got 8. Fields with 10. Domingo with 6. 7 for Ramos. But the player of the game so far has been Bachman. And Coach, 35-33 in favor of the Slingers, but too close to call. That really can't tell anything between these two teams. We look at the turnovers, 8 apiece so far for both these teams going into the second half. Remember, during the regular season, Slingers averaged 13.8 turnovers per game, and Alab Pilipinas with 14.3. Okay, we're going to look at the player profile, and let's watch John Fields in the game that he had last week against Malaysia. In fact, that was John Fields in both Malaysian games. Both games, Scotty scoring 28 points, so that sent him over the top of the leaderboard as far as points scored. He's now in the top 5, actually, in the top 5 in rebounding as well. So what a season that John Fields has had. So, Scotty, we talked about the remainder of the game, second half, 35-33 Slingers. You know, both these teams, what are they going to have to do to get out here with a W? Because it has been tough going.
Yeah, the one thing I like for the Slingers so far is Fields and Alexander put up numbers all year long. And the thing that I like about the third import, Jaron Young, is his shot attempts so far. He's got 10 shot attempts so far in that first half, and that means that he's being aggressive. That speaks to him coming out confidently and looking to shoot the ball. And now he has 11 points and 4 rebounds because of that as well. It speaks volumes to him as an attacker and what he does for this Singapore Slingers team.
On the other side of the ball, Ronaldo Blackman with some of the, or Bachman with some of the injuries that San Miguel has had this game. They're going to have to rely more on him and hope Ramos can also help downstairs. It looks like their ticket to a win this game, Scotty, might be to keep pounding the ball downstairs and getting the ball into the open court. They've been excellent today at that.
Yeah, Pedro Ramos is only 3 of 6 from the field right now, but the concerning thing for him is he has 5 turnovers. He throws the ball away, has half of Alab's turnovers so far.
Okay, we'll be right back for second half action after this break. We'll be right back to the OCBC Arena. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 35-33 in favor of the Slingers over San Miguel Alab Pilipinas here at the OCBC Arena. A couple of stats also that pop out at you, Scotty. Second chance points for the Slingers, 13-0 over Alab, but fast break points, 11-4. Big edge in favor of San Miguel.
Yeah, and that's been the two differences on both sides. Alab's inability to defensive rebound so far, like you said, 13-0 on second chance points, but we're usually used to seeing the Slingers get up and run people out of this gym, but so far it's been Alab Pilipinas, 11 fast break points to 4 of the Slingers, and that's going to win them this game. And the Slingers have to be careful in the second half, because if Alab gets out in transition, they are a momentum team, and this could go from a 2-point game to a 10-point game very quickly in Alab's favor.
We're also going to have to be very careful that Jaron Young does not pick up that all-important fourth foul. He is starting the third quarter, so we'll see. We are off here in the third quarter. Alab Pilipinas in the red, Singapore in the white. Going at you from right to left. Ramos downstairs, and that ball knocked out of his hand, but I think a foul is going to be on Fields, so that will be 2 on him.
Great set to start the second half for Alab. Dump the high-low pass to Ramos right away at the rim, and he sealed Fields about 2 feet from the rim there. A great call from Miguel Alab coming out of the halftime.
Yeah, I think that's great strategy for San Miguel. Just pop the ball downstairs as much as possible. Try and do what you do on the there it is again, right to Ramos, and a little mix-up in who was going to cover him that time. You can see him getting away way too much room off the glass. To pop the ball downstairs and try and tie up Fields. Play your usual D and try and perhaps force some turnovers. By the way, turnovers outside, that's Delvin Go. Well, if he can hit that shot, that forces Ramos to come out on him. He hasn't been able to do it as of yet, so 37-35. Ramos, downstairs it goes. Oh boy, ball watching that time, big time. Dominguez sneaking in through the baseline.
Yeah, Ramos' ability to pass there. He is a really great facilitator from that high and low post.
Remember, he's 7'3", so he sees things that average men don't. Young, still Young, right hand, quick first step going all the way to the basket. He'll go to the line for 1 to make it a 3-point play.
Jaron Young with 13 points now, and that's the aggressiveness that we always talk about.
Well, he is the one dynamic on the Slingers that really, you can see giving Alab Pilipinas a lot of problems. That's about the 4th time he's knifed through a couple of defenders getting to the basket. There he is around the screen by Fields. And Ramos, no contest right there. He picked his mismatch and got it right.
Not many people have that ability to jump over a 7'3.5" guy right there. And it's that right hand again for Jaron Young. When he gets going downhill in that right hand, he's unstoppable.
Most athletic player on the Slingers team, and makes it a 3-point play. So Slingers up by 3. Their biggest lead of the game was by 5 several different times. San Miguel's biggest lead by 3. There's been 10 lead changes, 7 ties. Nice job by number 25. That is Alvano to get the ball to Dominguez. Dominguez all knocked away that time by Alexander. Great job sniffing that out as he tried to get the pass around him and over into the hands of Dominguez, who was waiting for it on that left side. Alvano. Quick pass inside. Man, they go straight at Ramos, don't they? Loose ball picked up by Bobby Ray Parks. Little spin move inside. Finishes for 2.
And if Bobby Ray Parks get going, that could be trouble for the Slingers. The 2nd overall pick in the PBA draft. He is a scorer. He can shoot and he can attack the rim.
Wide open look for Alexander for 3. That's going to be off the mark. Swarm rebounding by Singapore. Boy, that's a silly foul. I think that's going to go on Bachman. If it is, that will be 3 on him. I think pushing off. But wait a minute. Yeah, we'll go on Rolando. There'll be 2 on him, actually. A little bit too hard by Delvin Go. Really should have done better than that. Bachman again, working the point. Boy, knocking Alexander out of his way on the way to another 2.
Strength of Ronaldo Bachman there, his 15th point of the game. It's just really impressive how physical that man is.
41-40, first lead of the second half for Alab. Feeding downstairs, Young does a rest. Nice job.
Great backdoor cut there by Jaron Young. Cutting to the rim, sold the V-cut for the big hammer dunk.
Nice job by Delvin Go on the pass. Long 3 is going to be off the mark. Skying into the lane is Fields. Away with it comes Young. Outlet pass to Desmond O. Back outside. Young around one screen. Rotation to the opposite side. Alexander all day long. Can't knock it down. Ball punched out again to Desmond O. Around the horn it goes. Young, still Young, gets separation, fires up a two, going to be off the mark. Ball tipped away, right into the hands of Delvin Go. Singapore will get a third kick of the can. Young enters the lane, off to the left side. Rotation, inside. Fields, off balance shot, gets it to go off the rim.
And second chance points again for Singapore. 2 offensive rebounds leads to the dump down pass to Fields and the put in.
Nice job catching the outside part of the rim. Watch this again. Desmond Nike through the middle. And there's Ramos not moving his feet. Boy, he could have been called with a foul right there. Fields screaming for it. There's Desmond again. Draws a crowd. Somebody's got to be open. It is Fields, and Fields holding his ground. Catching the outside of the rim off the glass. Another look at it from a different angle. Well, that's a beautiful feed to Young on the play before that for the slam.
And if you're Coach Alapag, you cannot be happy right now with those second chance points. There's 15 now for the Singapore Slingers. 15-0 on second chance points, and that's the difference in this ball game right now.
It certainly is, and that's a great point we made a little bit earlier as well. It was 10-0 at the end, or 13-0, I guess, at the end of the first half. Now 15-0. So a little bit of ball watching. Of course, you might expect that a little bit more of San Miguel, Scotty, because they've got Ramos in there, and he's pretty statuesque when he's around the rim. So he's not going to be moving around too much. He's not going to go after the dribble penetration. His job is just to block it up inside, and that's where Singapore is getting the advantage on those second chance opportunities. So again and again it's happening, and that's a good point. That's where Singapore has carved out this little niche of a lead. Bachman has been the man for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. What is it that he can't do? We've seen him play ball handler, ball controller, distributor, power man. He does it all.
His versatility is quite impressive, like you said. That he just can defend every position. He can play every position on the offensive end. Very talented professional.
Okay, under 7 minutes to go. Whip pass out to Bachman, who is running the point now. Catch and shoot for three is good. Ethan Alvano, and just like that, tied up at 44.
And he's a player. He is a very talented point guard and a good shooter. Would like to see him take some more open threes like that.
Back outside, Delvin Go gets it over to Young. Throw applies the screen. Young fires from Tewsville, got it. Smooth as silk right around the free throw line. Jaron Young.
18th point of the game, and it's all confidence and attack mindset for him. When he has it going on and when he feels like he has it going on, he's unstoppable.
Alvano again downstairs. Dominguez right hand turns the corner for the little baby hook.
You called it from the onset, Chuck. He is just a Singapore killer. 10 points for the game. Lawrence Domingo, he always has his best games here in Singapore.
Fields bumping and grinding against Ramos, who stood his ground. Bachman with the rebound, now going to the left hand. Distributes out to the left side. Behind the mark is Bobby Ray Parks. No good, but right there to clean it up. Bachman 2, and he will go to the line.
This is a very important phase for Singapore here. Alab has just gone on a 5-0 run. They can't let Alab get this momentum and push this lead to 5, 6, 7, 8.
That has been sometimes a problem with Singapore in that third quarter. We have seen them blow leads as big as 26 points coming out of the half. You're right, Scotty. They're going to have to hold on and try and match it with San Miguel. And this guy right here is controlling the game at the moment. 18 points now for him as Alab tying their biggest lead of the game by 3, 49-46. Alexander to Young again. He's got Fields on the top. Around Fields he goes, stops and pop, and a foul. Oh boy, fouling the jump shooter. Let's see who that will go against. It might be Domingo. If it is, that will be 2 on him. Let's see if he's going to get 3 shots. Let's watch it again. Here he comes around the corner. No, and I think that's going to be Bachman. So Bachman with his 3rd foul.
Yeah, so if you look on Alab's side, we have Bachman with 3, we have Parks with 3. 2 very important players in foul trouble right now for Alab Pilipinas.
Young, the man shooting now, also with 3, and this is the first of 2. A little bit of a partisan crowd here, as you can tell, for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. We said before the game they travel so well. Wherever they lock horns with the team away or at home, they've got their fans. So 49-47, 1 of 2 for Young.
Slingers have done a tremendous job getting the line tonight. That's their 18th free throw. 18th free throw tonight.
Downstairs it goes. Dominguez back outside. Alvano, show and go move. Parks dumps it inside to Bachman, and a foul. And that'll go on Fields. That'll be 3 on Fields. He has been unstoppable. We're almost having some words with Jimmy over there on the side.
It's impressive for Ronaldo Bachman is he's not a young guy. He's 34 years old. Just his movement patterns across the floor to be able to get into space every single time, and the bounce he has in his step. It's been really impressive to see how he uses and times his athletic ability and athleticism on point every single time.
Fields going berserk over there at the referee. So Bachman, opportunity here to put Alab up to by as many as 4. That would be their biggest lead of the game. Side rims the first one.
Talking to Coach Alapag before the game, he said they've struggled from the line recently. 12 of 28 against Macau in that loss on Wednesday night. And this is typically a very good free throw shooting team, like you said at the start of the game, Chuck.
Yeah, they average nearly 75%, one of the league leaders. 1 of 2, so the league jacked back up to 3. Back come the Slingers behind Alexander. You wonder when he's going to start to make a run. Young again around Parks. Screen thrown by Fields. Here's Young trying to get around the corner. He does. Oh, beautiful pass to Fields, who's trailing.
Yeah, what a dish by Young there off 2 ball screens, getting back to that right hand. Great little dump down pass to Fields, who challenged Ramos to the rim.
Downstairs it goes, bumping off the glass. Alertly picked up by Parks, who fires it off to his teammate, and out of bounds it goes. Wide open look, couldn't get it to go, so Singapore can exhale.
Interesting enough, again, Bobby Ray Parks has come back with the face mask here in the second half. So obviously he's talked to the training staff at halftime, and they thought it was a better idea for him to wear that face mask to cover that broken
Under
nose.
5 minutes, Young getting separation once again for 2, no good. Gang rebounding. Ramos with the outlet pass again over the shoulder to Bachman from behind, and I think that'll be a foul on Young, and that'll be his 4th.
What a contest at the rim by Jaron Young.
And into the fan section goes Bachman. Let's watch it again. Watch Young, who's trailing the play, keeping his eye on Bachman, trying to time. Whoa, I don't think there was a foul, was there? Look at it again. They still have not attached the foul to Young's. Well, did he get him with the body, though? Yes. There's the foul right there by Young. So according to the referee, getting him with the body, and Bachman goes visiting the fans in the first row.
And again, PJ Ramos with that baseball outlet pass. Kevin Love-esque. He is just amazing how he throws it on point every single time, and on a rope as well. It's a true talent that guy has.
7'3" with gigantic hands, so probably the ball's about like a baseball in his hand. So 4:42. Opportunity again here for Alab. Stretch the lead to 2, and more importantly, Jaron Young. Is Young out of the game? I think that's 5 fouls on Jaron Young, so he has exited the game.
Oh, now if that's his 5th foul, that is a really, really crucial point of this game.
We're leading the team with 19 points, so they're going to have to try and do it without him. What a task that's going to be. I didn't know he had, I thought he had only 3. That would have made 4. Alexander taking the ball to the dish. Yes, high off the glass, Xavier Alexander.
And that's Alexander's 10th point of the game to go along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists is typical triple-double-esque game.
Ramos, Alvano, beating the ball over to Samalanov, and doing what he does so well, just using that power. So back to a 3-point lead. Alexander now. So Singapore will have to play short-handed. Checking into the game, number 22 for Singapore. That would be Kelvin Lim. Young bullying his way through 2 defenders. That would have countered had it gone. It did not. not a bad strategy by Singapore, Scotty. They're going to have to, if they don't have Young in there, they're going to have some way to attack the rim, and Young Fields just putting his head down and bullying his way forward.
Yeah, in the last two possessions, Alexander and Fields straight to the rim, trying to draw contact, trying to get a finish at the rim, and that's a great strategy for them going forward here. Very interested to see if Young is out of the game. It says 5 on the board, but it really looked like he only had 4. So we'll see at quarter time when we get the stats over here if it is actually that.
Yeah, I think it might just be 4. Hopefully, for the Slingers fans' hopes anyway. It is only 4 fouls. Bachman exiting the game, grimacing. Can't hit the second one, so 2-point lead now for San Miguel. 3:39 to go here in the third quarter. Ramos show and go move inside, takes the ball to the dish.
What a move. 7'3", 300 pounds to be able to Euro step like that from the three-point line and finish. It's amazing how mobile this guy is for his size.
Alexander accelerates in the lane, can't get it to go. Outlet pass again by Ramos, holding it up. Back outside, Samalala gets it inside. Domingo back outside again, almost knocked away by Alexander. Josh Erzman Tondo in the game right now, and another 3 being hoisted and made by who else? PJ Ramos. The lead stretched to 7.
And this was the run that we were talking about, the Alab run to stretch it to 7. It's all in the back of PJ Ramos. 16 points, 11 rebounds now. He has really come to play in this second half.
So the score is 59-52, not 56-52, as is shown on your screen, and a timeout being called by Singapore as the Philippine fans go nuts here. There's the distribution. Josh Erzman Tondo getting it over to Ramos. Ramos doing the rest, knocking down his 3rd triple of the game.
There's that versatility again of Ramos. He gets a jump hook from 2 feet from the rim. He Euro steps from the three-point line, and then he steps up on that ball screen action, pick and pops, and hits the three-pointer.
Member of that 2004 Puerto Rican team that upset the USA. And I tell you, if you're in a huddle, Singapore is up against it. They have to, as you said, Scotty, coming out of the halftime, very, very dangerous situation for Singapore, because San Miguel has a tendency to go on these little runs here, and you've got to stay in contact with them. You don't want to fall behind by 10, 12, 15 points at this stage. You start getting in a position where you've got to trade baskets with them. So Singapore is going to have to make a defensive stand right here, right now, and start putting some points on the board. Best way to do that, in fact, probably to attack the basket, but the shots that they were hitting from the perimeter in the first half aren't falling for them as easily this time. And you've got to credit the defense of San Miguel also, Scotty. They have done a tremendous job putting their hands in the lane, denying, switching over to players, making sure that Singapore gets nothing cheap.
Yeah, spot on there. The second half, their effort has just been upped, and all of the contests in the shot, all the box outs, they've only scored 2 second chance points in the second half, and that's just been all effort related for Alab.
So 3:03, and there's the man right there. Bachman has gone on the bench. Bobby Ray Parks checking back into the game. Ung Han Bin in the game for Singapore. Larry Liu as well. Bounce pass downstairs to Delvin Go. Delvin Go spins, fires, no good. Ball controlled by Xavier Alexander, but knocked away by Bobby Ray Parks in the open court. Again comes San Miguel. They'll hold it up, but no, they give it to Parks. Parks on the go. Yes, gets it to fall. No foul. 61-52, 9-point lead. Delvin Go, Larry Liu thought about it. Turns and fires from Tewsville, no good. 1 and out. Ill-advised shot there by Liu. Back comes San Miguel. Parks, bounce pass inside. Dominguez turns the corner, reverse. Yeah, got it to go.
And this is when Alab is at their best. Inside, outside, in transition. And look at the energy now coming from all 5 players on the court. It's contagious.
11-point lead now. Liu. Circling around goes Ung Han Bin down to the low post, being held on. Liu. Delvin Go. Wow. 2 on the shot clock. And getting bailed out. If it falls, it counts. Yes. Chance for a 3-point play, I believe. Let's see if they give it to him.
And they gave it to him. 3-point
so
play. 10 points for Delvin Go. Now, he's quietly had a really good basketball game for Singapore, and that was a huge basket to kill the momentum for Alab.
Still looking up on the scoreboard, and it remains 5 points or 5 fouls on Young. So perhaps they made a mistake in the first half, only credit him with 3, and when it should have been 4. So 3-point play there for Singapore. It gets them to within 8, but they've got problems on the offensive end and the defensive end. San Miguel doing such a great job getting back, and the switching has just been tremendous by San Miguel here in the second half, Scotty.
Yeah, and as soon as Jaron Young picked up that foul, they went on a quick 9-0 run, and that was a huge dramatic changing point in this game.
Parks. He's got Ramos over the top, and nobody can stop him. Trying to front him with John Fields, and it's just no way.
This is the PJ Ramos everyone expected, and he has come to play in the second half. 18 points now, 13 rebounds.
So 1:22 to go here in the third quarter. Alexander to Fields, who's having to play away from the basket now, trying to keep Ramos away. Back into the game is Bachman, so he was out for about 2.5 minutes. Alexander hit on the way up.
That advantage that Alab has defensively is the locals can guard imports. Bobby Ray Parks, Brandon Rosser, Kalen Chung-Sung, Domingo, they can all guard imports, and that's such an advantage for them.
Lim is fouled immediately. He is checked into the game. Defensive specialist Jun Lim, 21 years of age, 5'8", 172-pound guard, only 21 years of age. So part of the youth movement that Singapore is trying to institute this year is their mainstay players start to get up there in age just a little bit. Coach Alapag, what a job he has done. The adjustments that you have to make from time to time. Missed there by Lim.
And Coach Alapag has rounded his staff out with Coach Eric Menk and Coach Danny Siegel, 3 of the top 40 PBA players of all time. It's a pretty decent little 3-on-3 team going on over there on the Alab bench.
And Eric Menk, remember him from the William Jones Cup. He participated so many times. There's Bobby Ray Parks, that mask we were talking about, and it's very, very uncomfortable. That a lot of sweat that can get in between the fabric and the face. He discarded it somewhere around the second part of the first half, but back on again, and Lim misses both. So Bachman, here he comes again. Alexander is on him. Parks, Lim working on him. Parks fronting now. There's the screen. Alexander will pick him up. Wide open look for Joshua Montando for 2.
And everyone Alab's going right now. They're all playing with confidence, all catching, looking to score, and that's really tough to guard for Singapore.
Nice job of recognition, finding the open man. There's Bentando's first points of the game, and that'll be a foul on Chris Samalanog.
Jun Lim did a good job to come in the game. 2 possessions, has drawn 2 fouls so far. There are 2 aggressive takes coming back on that crossover to the right hand.
Yeah, nice little show and go move there by the youngster. There is Fields. Fields playing with 3 fouls. Alexander with 2. The way it looks, Young has already fouled out. He's missed 3 straight free throws, so good job getting to the line, not so good afterwards.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Jun Lim really has to work on. Defensive stalwart, he really needs to continue to work on that jump shot. Once he gets it, it's going to be a very tough cover.
So finally, for Singapore creep to within 11. Brisbane Tondo accelerates, 36-year-old over the top. Little Euro step to the basket, knocked away by Alexander, by Fields. Alexander being picked on from behind, but nice job of protecting the ball, getting the ball to the rim, up and in for 2.
Yeah, cradle Euro step, Xavier Alexander, explosive move.
Bachman, well, what a ball. Going straight at Alexander. Wanting the foul, didn't get it. So at the buzzer, that will do it. So a statement being made by the first place San Miguel Alab Pilipinas team. They have taken over this game. They trailed by 2 at the end of the half. Now they find themselves up by 11, a 13-point switcheroo as we get ready for the fourth quarter. We'll be right back to the OCBC Arena after this. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas 69, Singapore Slingers 58, attacking the basket relentlessly. And Singapore back on their heels time and time again. Here's Jaron Young. Before he fouled out, obviously, but he leads all scorers for Singapore with 19 points. But without his athleticism in there, it's been more like this. And there you saw Ronaldo Bachman just running over Xavier Alexander en route to two of his 23 points. He leads all scorers. Bounce pass inside to Fields. It wasn't all one-way traffic, but every bucket that Singapore gets is a monumental task for them to find any room anymore inside. San Miguel, Scotty, has done just a super job of switching on defense. I've said that ad nauseum, but it is true. Coach Alapog has done a masterful job.
Yeah, and Singapore is shooting 36% from the field now and 10% from three. They're just all their shots are contested and all their shots are tough, and that's from that switchability with Domingo and all their defenders, Balkman and Ramos, and when they turn it on defensively, they're so hard to match up with.
Something was going to have to give. We saw Singapore leading by 2 despite the first half shooting 30.8%. Now shooting a little bit better, but going away with it is Alab. Getting away is Larry Liu, but can't finish it, and that has been the problem for Singapore. They've had the open looks. Bachman again inside, opposite side. Ursman Tondo rotates the ball. Wide open look. Great ball movement by Singapore. 3-second violation, though.
Yeah, and you said ball movement, Chuck, and Alab went from 8 assists at halftime to 19 at the end of that third quarter, and it's all their ability to move that basketball and trust their teammates, and when they do that, it's very hard to match up defensively with them.
Yeah, they lead the league in assists at 27.8 per game. Alexander, there's the screen by Fields. Screen him up a little bit. Boy, a lot of contact there. No foul, but Alexander makes it finish anyway. So still no Jaron Young. That 5 fouls sticks. We thought maybe he had 3 and 4, maybe hoping against hope maybe that he only had 4 fouls, but no, he is saddled on the bench, Velcroed. Nice job by Albano getting away. What a spark plug he is. 2 by Ramos. Can't hit it, so 9-point lead. Opportunity for Singapore to get to within 6 or 7. Alexander yo-yoing down that right-hand side. Larry Liu wide open look from Threesville, way off the mark that time, punching it back outside, but right into the path of Domingo, who does a good job of covering the lane. Albano on the run, off the mark. Difficult angle right there. San Miguel doesn't want to get away from what made them successful in that first half. Fields spin move inside, left-hand hook off the glass and in.
Great move by John Fields. 17 points now. It's only a 7-point game.
Bachman trying to do a little bit too much, but the follow, I think by Domingo, or was it Bachman that got a hand on it?
Bachman's been everywhere. 9 of 14. He's got 25 points, 8 rebounds today.
9-point lead. Alexander, still Alexander in the lane, tries to spin move, knocked away from behind by Ramos, but he fouls. So for Ramos, that will be 3 on him. Another thing that San Miguel has done a great job of doing, their timing when they do. Remember, they had 7 blocks in the first half, but they don't really have anybody at this stage in that bad of foul trouble. Of course, Ramos and Bachman with 3. Parks with 3 as well. But they've been able to withstand the pressure and do a great job in the interior without fouling all over the place. Singapore, a very aggressive team. We know that they like to get inside the paint too. This is where they do most of their damage. So tables have been turned on Singapore a little bit today.
I like Singapore starting getting off to the rim, like you said, Chuck. They shot 26 free throws so far, compared to Alab's only 10. So a great couple takes to the rim to get to the foul line for Xavier Alexander his last 2 possessions.
So back to a 7-point lead. Bachman to Ramos. Back in the hands of Albano. Albano working on him is Lynn. Lynn with the fresh legs. Still Albano. Downstairs it goes. Punched away. Nice job on the front by Fields. Alexander splits 2 defenders up and in.
It's Xavier Alexander to full court again, his 18th point. A great take back to that right hand.
71-66, and don't look now. Bachman now. They let him freelance. He gives it up. Spin move. Domingo. Albano. Finger roll. Yes. So back to a 7-point lead.
Singapore can't let that happen. Ethan Avano, smallest man on the court, cuts right through the lane and finishes at the rim.
Alexander looking for space. Rolling off the screen is Fields. Downstairs it goes, and a quick foul. And that'll go on Albano, number 25, his third foul. So 1, 2, 3, 4. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas players with 3 fouls.
Delvin Go with a great recognition there that Albano's on him. He steps in and seals him. And he's had, again, a quietly very good game. 11 points so far, and everything has been touches and drop steps along the rim.
Yeah, he's a much improved player, one of the local players that will get some consideration as far as big men for MVP this year. Ung Han Bin checks back in the game. Lim stays in. Fields for 2. Front rims that one, ball on the floor, picking it up on the floor again, and finally Domingo comes up with it. So under 7 minutes to go. Brisbane Tondo, Bachman, Alexander working on him, looking for cutters, back outside to Bobby Ray Park, spin move, working on Lim. He's got a big mismatch in him as far as height. The leaner inside is no good. Lim with the rebound. He's going to try and start the fast break. Oh boy, throws, nope. Last touch by Erzman Tunnel, so no backcourt. Rotated out top to Alexander. Alexander will fire a 3, hand in his face, can't get it to fall. Ball on the ground, nice hustle there by Ung Han Bin and a foul.
14th offensive rebound for Singapore. It's been keeping them in the game. 15 second chance points for them now. This has been the difference for them in the way that they've been able to stay connected to the strong Alab Filipinas team.
13th foul by Alab. Waiting to come in the game, Chris Samalanog. He's got a couple of points.
He's had a really good game for the Alab so far today. +8, plus minus.
Alexander. Post up, over to Lim in the corner. Lim dashing inside the lane, has the ball knocked away by Bachman. A little bit adventurous that time by Lim. Here comes Bachman, bounce pass ahead of him. Get it out of here, says Alexander. It is pinned up against the glass, and it'll be Singapore ball.
Xavier Alexander having a really strong second half there, and now with 18 points and a real good contest there at the rim.
Under 6 minutes to go. Singapore starting to make some inroads without Jaron Young, and out of bounds it goes. Nice hands dashed in there by Josh Erzman Tondo, but ball hitting the sidelines, so it'll be Singapore ball.
And how important was that Jaron Young picking up his 5th foul there in the third quarter? It's been the difference in when San Miguel went on that big, Alab went on that big 9-0 run.
Difference in the game right now. Again, as we said, Singapore cannot afford to match baskets at this point with San Miguel. They're going to have to get some defensive stops. They've been doing that as of late. Lim off the dribble, still Lim trying to force his way. Nice pass over to Ung Van Him off the glass, no good. On the floor it goes. Last touch by by Singapore. They're going to say nice decision there by Chris Samalanog to let it go. So it will be San Miguel ball. No, they switch it over. Well, the other official says nope.
Great job
I was
by
in
Coach
position
Neal
and you weren't.
Coach Neal knew the call, got in the official's ear, and then stayed composed and got that call back.
Alexander. Delvin Go. Downstairs to Alexander again. Fields spreads it out on the right side. Delvin Go. Little catch and shoot, but the ball blocked away again by who else? Ramos. Quickly over to the right-hand side. Domingo back outside the Parks. Domingo scurries through. Alexander. Ramos. Samalanog. 5 on the shot clock. Back over to Domingo. Domingo has the ball blocked away. Singapore coming away with it. Alexander in the open court. Still Alexander. Fields. He is fouled. John Fields feeling it right now. It is tough real estate. Watch this. Alexander on the break. Going downhill. He's got Bobby Parks ahead of him. And there, take your pick. See who they give the foul to. Samalanog, I think. If it is Parks, that will be his 4th.
You've got to love the intensity in this game right now. It has a little bit of a playoff feel here with this big crowd and the competitiveness from both teams. And this is a really highly competitive 7-point game right now with Alab just going on a little bit of a run. And Singapore showed a lot of adversity to come back.
Yeah. We thought with Young, when he fouled out, a lot of the air went out of the gym, but that has since come back. Singapore behind who else? Xavier Alexander, who now has 18 points. Young leading all scorers on that side with 19. Fields with 17 for Singapore, and Delvin Go 11 points. So Singapore has gotten it done with not only their imports, but their local guys have stepped up as well. On the other side of the ball, of course, it has been Bachman, 25 for him. Ramos with 18, including 3 threes. Domingo with 12. And as we said before the game, this Domingo, I'll tell you what, I don't know what it is about the OCBC arena, but Domingo's eyes light up like a pinball machine every time he comes in here, Scotty.
Yeah, every single time he steps in this gym. It's his activity around the rim when he offensive rebounds, the dump down passes from the world imports and Bobby Ray Park, the local MVP, when they draw a lot of attention. He just seems to be in the right place at the right time all the time.
Absolutely. So that's the situation right now. Hope you're enjoying as much as we are bringing over to you here on Star Hub. Scott McKinnon and Chuck Schreiner, so happy you could spend part of your Sunday afternoon with us. And two stalwarts of the ABL 2018-19 season. Singapore at 13-7 in third place, and the league leaders, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas 16-4, trying to do the double on Singapore. They defeated Singapore 77-71 at their place back on December 23rd. They play each other twice. They are from different divisions. Singapore would desperately like to keep their 4-game winning streak alive. Short rim in the first one. Boy, Singapore has not shot free throw shoot. The free throw shooting has not been good today.
Now 16 of 29, 60%. That's not going to do it against the #1 team in the league.
0 of 2, and that's the third time Singapore has done that today. So, Havana working against Ung Han Bin. Here comes the screen. Oh boy, getting away from his man, dumping it off to Ramos. Over the shoulder pass to Ramos on the trail. Ramos does the rest.
Well, the second half, he's had 20 points now for PJ Ramos.
Back out to Fields. Fields looking for Alexander. Overload on that right-hand side. It's also low in the game. Alexander getting inside, but half to the basket, thwarted. Had to throw up a very awkward-looking shot. Bachman losing the thread a little bit there. Alvano over to Ramos. Ramos fires up a three. Not this time. The putback no good by Bachman, and Alexander comes away with it. Under 4 minutes to go. Singapore needing to do something quickly. Fields spin move on Ramos. Turns, fires off the glass. No good. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be retained by Singapore. Last touch by Alvano. Watch Ramos again. Here's Bachman there over the pass. Beautiful peripheral vision there shown by Bachman over into the hands of Ramos, who does the rest. There it is again. Ramos uncontested. Fields on that right shoulder. Bounce pass through. Russell Lowe. Left-handed hook too hard. Ramos pulls down the board, and back comes Bachman and company. Under 3.5 to play. So starting to sort of sense something right now. Alab Pilipinas, Scotty slowing it down, spreading it out. Alvano pushing aside Lim. Alvano, great first step, but over the top it goes. It'll be Singapore ball. John Fields closing him down. Great job by John.
Yeah, great contest there. John Fields on the weak side help. He's always around the rim, getting to contest, weak side, trying to block the shot, and he does a really good job of helping off of his man and then recovering.
So back comes Slingers, and they're going to have to pretty much score every time down the court now and get some stops along the way. Alexander rises and fires off the mark, a little bit short, and again, Singapore must be shooting about close to 32-33%. Parks working on Lim. Parks. There's the screen. Up pops Alexander. Now Ramos again looking downstairs. Fires up another three. Going to be off the mark. Alexander gets the rebound. Back comes Singapore. Fields attacking the rim. Boy, no fear shown by Fields, but gets nothing for it. The statue is there to meet him. Albano, left hand, gets away from his defender, up and in, off the glass.
John Fields has a right to be frustrated there. A lot of contact going to the rim. A great job of him challenging Ramos at the rim, and no call from the official.
Let's see, 77-66. So that will put him at the line, and an opportunity now for, or will it? No. They'll take it from the side, so no basket.
Larry Liu coming into the game, a shooter. A really good decision by Coach Johnston. Coach Neal to try and space the floor and get another three-point shooter out there.
Parks rotates out to Bachman inside and trying to front him off as Fields gets a little bit too late, and Ramos finishes it off again. Ramos now 22, Bachman 25. So the strategy, well, little finger roll there by Fields.
And the difference for Ramos in the second half is he started inside and then went outside instead of the opposite way. And he's really successful when he does that, when he gets touches around the rims and then extends that range to the three-point line.
Fields coming out, double teaming Parks. Long three, way off the mark and skids out of bounds. That was number 4, Chris Simonolog.
You mentioned it, Chuck, the last few possessions, Alab has really slowed it down and went to that horn set, involved Ramos and Balkman in a pick and roll every single time.
Liu thought about it. Rotating. Desmano. Fields. 15-footer, no good. Ramos ripping down the board again. A minute 30 to go. Balkman will continue to slow it up, and the crowd starting to sense that San Miguel Alab Pilipinas has done enough. 9-point lead. They trail by 2 at half, so 11-point turnaround. Bachman, Simonolog, left-hand side, no good. Another offensive board, boy, oh boy. Well, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas has made a statement here in the enemy territory today. Singapore Slingers, very game, long three, can, just for an exclamation point. That will make it 80-68, much to the delight of the Philippine fans who have paid their money to see their heroes do battle here at the OCBC Arena, and reinforce the fact that they are the first place team. They will climb to 17-4. Singapore will drop to 13-8. See their 4-game winning streak snap as we watch it again, and adding insult to injury. Watch it again. Step back jumper from beyond the arc, boom, cans it for his 26th, 7th, and 8th points of the game. So Scotty has been the big men who have made the difference for San Miguel today.
And what a statement you said is right from Ronaldo Balkman and PJ Ramos. They have been absolutely unbelievable here in this second half. The ability to do everything, that versatility is really hard to match up. And you can't talk enough about what happened when Jaron Young fouled out in the third quarter with that 5th foul. It was a 2-point game when he left, and all of a sudden losing the dynamic Jaron Young, who had 19 points up to that point halfway through the third quarter, was a really big blow to the Slingers' chances in this game.
San Miguel really had no answer for Jaron Young, as evidenced by the 19 points he had. He just played barely more than half the game, not even half the game. He was saddled with 2 fouls right at the beginning and picked up the 3rd and the 4th one before the half. They gambled. They played him in the 4th quarter or 3rd quarter, and he fairly quickly picked up foul number 5. And there you go, your most dynamic player, and the guy that at least matched up best with your opponents on the day is out of the game. So Singapore has been scrambling ever since. And the 80 points, Bachman and Ramos have 50 of them. So there you go. Delvin Go. Back outside to Liu. Wide open look on the other side. Back outside to Liu. Catch and shoot for Threesville. Way off the mark that time. Bobby Park steps in the lane to pick it off. And 35 seconds to go. Here comes the trap. Ramos steps across half court. Gets it. Calmly fires it over to Simonolog. Foul there. And that will go on Alexander trying for the steal.
And you gotta love the effort from the Slingers here. Only 26 seconds left in the game, in a 12-point game, and they're still trapping and trying to steal the basketball. It says a lot about their character and the resiliency that they have.
So for Alexander, that is 3 fouls on him. Checking out of the game will be Ramos, much to the delight of the visitors who have come here en masse to root on their heroes. And, you know, right or wrong, I mean, Jaron Young, his presence in the game just means so much. Some games more than others, but in a game like this against a team like this, his skill set just matched up so well, especially when he's dribble penetrating, and also they were giving him a little bit room. He was knocking down his shots and just some fouls that he couldn't overcome. And don't want to say that's the only difference in the game, but it certainly was a big one.
Yeah, and missing him the majority of the second half, like you said, was a big deal.
2 is off the mark. Alexander will get it with less than 10 seconds to go. Over to the right-hand side, inside now to Fields. Fields trying to find some room on the baseline. Can't get it to fall, but he's fouled. He'll go the line. That will stop the clock at 0.4 seconds to go in the game.
Ronaldo Balkman finishing with 28 points, 13 rebounds, just a stat sheet stuffer. He's a really cool story. Had a contentious issue in the Philippines a couple of years ago, was banned from playing in the PBA, and it's just a real cool story of resiliency and owning their mistakes and going back. And now he's a fan favorite there. As you saw when he checked out, the entire crowd gave him a standing ovation. It's a really feel-good story, and you have to be happy for Ronaldo Balkman as a professional basketball player.
He was banned in 2013, was not reinstated to 2016. That's ancient history now, because the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas overcome Singapore in enemy territory 80-70. To take more of a stranglehold over first place. Singapore Slingers, well, they'll have to rue what could have been had they had Jaron Young in the game for more than they did, who seemingly had his way with the defense of San Miguel, but it wasn't to be. Inside game dominating for San Miguel. As we said, 28 points for Bachman and 22 for Ramos. 50 of their 80 points come on the inside, and can't say enough about Ronaldo Balkman. He plays every position on the court. Of course, the NBA experience, and then what about Ramos? You know, 7'3". That basketball must feel kind of like a volleyball in his hands. Able to connect on various plays down the court on the fast break. Singapore, that has been their game, the open court, but they were shown the way by San Miguel Alab Pilipinas today, Scotty.
Yeah, and what an entertaining basketball game, and it's very nice for Singapore. Now they have the standard, and they know what the standard is, and that's a very tough squad in Alab Pilipinas. Very well coached, and a great mix of imports and locals.
Okay, so the play of the day will be here in a moment for you. Singapore meeting in the center of the court. Nothing to be ashamed of for them. They still are in third place. Watch this. This is Alvano. The kick back outside. Bachman takes it to the house with authority. So that is our play of the day. Ronaldo. For Alab Pilipinas. Next matchup here next Sunday, same time, same place. Slingers going against the CLS Knights of Indonesia, 10 March 2019. And that will do it today from the OCBC Arena. Again, the final score, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas 80, Singapore Slingers 70 for Scott McKinnon and Chuck Schreiner. We'll see you next time here at the OCBC Arena next Sunday on the 10th. Bye-bye for now.